Hey guys, how's it going? So, today we are going to check out a game which is currently in closed beta called For Honor. Now this game is by Ubisoft and I can best describe it as a third-person sandbox type PvP game. So it's third person and basically all that you can do in the game, well, at least currently, is PvP. It's basically exclusively PvP, and the reason why I say it is sandbox is you basically get put into a relatively large area and you then have to either kill your opponents, like the enemies, or you have to control certain points, and it's basically just PvP. The whole game revolves around PvP. Currently, there are absolutely no options for any kind of a single player aspect of the game, and from what I've seen and read about the game, there will not be any single player type content of the game, but of course, like I said, it is currently in closed beta, so that may change. But currently you can only play multiplayer against other people, or with bots, or against bots. So first off, this game is releasing on the 14th of February, and you can purchase it, currently pre-order it for $60, and the release price will also cost $60, but I do not suggest that you pre-order the game, obviously, because the product that you see here may very well differ from the final release of the game. So this is the options menu. There's just about everything that you would want to see in a game like this. The combat of the game is a little bit weird. It's actually quite unique. I have never seen a game that works like this, but I will explain a little bit about that a little bit later. So basically you have the normal controls W, A, S and D, and then your left click is a light attack, right click is a heavy attack, and then you have a bunch of other small little, I could say, augmentations that you can do to your attacks, like you can press Shift or Alt or Control, depending on what situation you are in, and that will change the type of attack that you do. And then otherwise than that, there's the display options. You currently cannot change all of the display options because, like I said, it is closed beta, but you will probably be able to change all of them once the game fully releases. But you can change the field of view, which is always nice, especially in a third-person game. And then the graphics options, I have everything on the highest settings except shadows, because shadows really eats away at your PC. And motion blur I hate. I never put motion blur on because, I mean, why would you want to blur some of your screen? I mean, that's really quite useless. But as you can see, I have everything on the highest setting except shadows and shit like that. And it is only using about 2 gig of my graphics card at the moment. So if you have a 2 gig graphics card, you should be able to run this game pretty good. If you have a 4 gig graphics card, then your PC will probably run this game very easily. But as I said, this is beta, so perhaps once the game is fully released, they will add ultra settings, but currently there are only high settings available in the game. But you will see the game looks pretty nice. It's certainly not a bad looking game, and I suspect that if they are going to put in ultra settings, then the game will actually look really good. And then otherwise than that, there are the normal audio options, which you would suspect a game like this to have. You also have voice chat in the game, although I don't use that. And that's pretty much it. The interface options basically just has to do with your HUD and your GUI and your minimap and all of that, and the different things that are displayed on the screen. So that's pretty much it. The game does use Uplay. Now Uplay is Ubisoft's kind of a launcher, and it also has a social aspect so that you can communicate with your friends. So you press F2 and that takes you to the screen where you then can invite your friends who are playing in other Uplay games, or if they just have the Uplay launcher open. So yeah, this beta that I got into is only available for 4 days, so it's only like a 4-day beta, and then after that they close it, and then of course after that they after a few weeks will release the game. So they will release the game on the 14th of February, which is about 2 weeks from now. So they will probably use the feedback and all of that they got from the people playing the closed beta to just check if there are any like bugs or anything like that. So currently this is the interface which you have to choose your different game modes. There are only 3 game modes currently available, that is 1v1 duel, 2v2 brawl and 4v4 dominion. Now the 2v2 brawl and the 1v1 duel is literally just you fighting against other players. There's no other NPCs, non-player characters or nothing like that in the game. It's literally just hand-to-hand combat with another player. So that's basically it. You just get thrown into an arena, a small little arena, and then you have to kill your opponent, and once you've killed him or once you've lost, then you basically have to kill him or you have to lose again once. I think it's like a best of 3 type deal. So you have to win twice or you have to lose twice in order for the match to end. So that's the 1v1 duel and the 2v2 brawl. But for this video I am going to do the 4v4 dominion, since that has a little bit more gaming mechanics, and you can actually see the point holding mechanic. You basically have to hold certain points in order to gain points, and the team who at the end of the match has the most points will then win. So before we do that, I will just quickly show you the different heroes that you get. There are currently 9 heroes in the game, and each has more or less a unique fighting style. Not all of them are completely unique. So there is the Conqueror, who is a guy who works with a shield and a mace, or a flail at least. And then there is a guy who works with a shield and a sword. And this is the character which I play with most. And she has just like a spear, javelin type weapon. And then this one works with 2 small swords, and she's like a fast, you can see her counter attacker. And then there is this one that works with 2 axes, so she's more of a berserker type character, not as quick as this one, but more of a tank and spank kind of a attack character. And then this one is, she has a large sword, like a samurai sword, and she works with counter attacking. And then these are the normal characters which you start with. This one, and this one is unlocked as standard at the beginning. And they are all pretty much the same. You can see adaptable, straightforward, adaptable, straightforward, adaptable, good range. So all of these 3 characters are basically the same, and once you have gotten the game style and the mechanics down, then you can choose to unlock one of these characters. And each character currently costs 500 coins. Now I have left over enough coins so that I can at least just quickly show you guys how the gear system works in this game. So you do acquire gear sometimes after winning or losing a match, but it's not 100%. It's just sometimes that you get extra gear from fighting in a match. And then additionally, you can use the gold that you get from completing quests or winning matches. Now you can purchase basic pack, armor pack, weapon pack, or premium pack. The premium pack has 5 items in it that you can get, and 2 of them will be a guaranteed higher level. Now currently, as far as I have it, because I've played about, I would say, 5 or so hours of the game. Currently, if I have it correctly, you get 3 different levels of items. So let me purchase this pack, and then I can explain a little bit better for you how it works. So you get level 1 items, and then you get level 2 items, and then you get level 3 items. Level 3 items are the highest type of item that you get. So these are level 1 items, level 1 item, level 1 item, and these are level 3 items. So you get level 1 items, level 2 items, and level 3 items. Level 3 items are the best. So let's go to the customize. Now you can change the appearance of your character mildly. You cannot change it completely. You can change the gender on certain classes, but not on this class. This class can only be a female class. So you can also change the face, like the pattern on your mask if you want to. And you can change a different engraving so that it has an engraving, but you have to be at least level 20 for this engraving, and you have to have a reputation level 8 for that engraving. And you can also put different symbols and markings on all of your armor pieces that you want. So you can change your face, you can change your shoulder. Once again, you can change the pattern, or you can put a different symbol on there, or you can put an engraving on there, and you can do that with each and every piece of your armor. You can do it with your chest and your back, so you can change the pattern on it if you want. And then you can also select a different symbol, and you can also change the colors of the symbols. So your character is pretty good when it comes to changing how they look. I mean, you can change the colors here. You start with only a few colors unlocked, but you get more color schemes unlocked later on. And these here, like you see there at the bottom right, requires reputation level 2, this one requires reputation level 10, and this one requires level 18 and stuff like that. So the more you play, the more color variations you will unlock eventually. And other than your appearance, you can also change your weapons. Now your appearance is purely cosmetic, but your weapons and your armor actually do have an impact on your stats. Now for instance, here is a level 1 blade. Now this is the blade that you start with, and you see there, I will draw a line for you. That is the standard weapon that you start with, the very base weapon that you start with. And then you can equip other weapons, which obviously you can see with the green and the red how your weapons will then change in stats. So you can see some weapons concentrate much more on defense, others concentrate more on stamina cost reduction, and others concentrate more on attack and stuff like that. So you can also change your arms. These are your arms, the equipment on your arms. And you can also change your chest. You can see it even changes the look of your chest. So some chests look different, like this one is a vest type thing, and this one actually has shoulder pads. So apart from the appearance change, there is also a stats change here at the bottom right. And that's basically how the equipment system works. You basically can buy different equipment from the store, and they do actually have a effect on your stats and all of that. But you do get those packs, those armor packs, relatively easy. So, and as far as I know, you cannot buy them with real money. You can only buy them with in-game money. So it's not at all a pay-to-win mechanic or anything like that. It's just purely with the in-game money that you can buy those things. And you can see some of them change the look of your weapons. So your character is very much customizable in aspect of the stats, and also with the aspect of your appearance. And then apart from that, you also get abilities which you can unlock. Now currently I only have the base abilities unlocked, but you do later on get different abilities that you can unlock. Some of them are passives, like this one is a passive, and all of these are selected abilities or active abilities. So you press number 2 and then it will call down an arrow strike, and you press number 3, then it will rapidly heal yourself, and you press number 4, then it will heal all enemies around you. So that's basically how the different abilities work. And there are basically 3 abilities here, 3, 3, 3. So basically this character has 12 abilities, and each character has 12 unique abilities. So the abilities that I have here will be different from the abilities which the other characters have. So there's really quite a big difference between the different classes, because they control differently for the most part, they have different weapons for the most part, and they also have different abilities for the most part. So it's quite a customizable game, and you can customize your player experience quite a bit, which is always very good in PvP games, because you do not want your hero or your guy to be the same as your opponent, because that just makes the game very bland. So basically I am going to do a Dominion, and then after that I will explain a little bit more about the map control, but it's really quite self-explanatory. After 2 hours, or at least I think each turn is something like 6 hours, but currently there's only 2 hours remaining. So after that 2 hours, the NPCs that you have sent to certain zones will then fight against each other, and they will resolve, they will auto-resolve, and the faction who have sent the most NPCs to a certain area will then control that area. So it's quite self-explanatory. If the green team sends 1,000 NPCs to this zone and the red team only sends 500 NPCs to the zone, then when the turn resolves at the top right, then the green team will regain this area. Now, I currently do not know what the what the use is of controlling the area. I mean, at the top right it shows more or less like the yellow guys have 13 area, the green guys have 15 area, and the red guys have 32 area. But honestly, I don't know what that does. I'm assuming that the team who controls the biggest area gets bigger rewards. I'm not really too certain what it is. That really hasn't been explained to me at all yet through the game's tooltips or anything like that. So but I'm certain that hopefully when the game is fully released, they will explain that more good or better for you, so that you don't wonder what all of the different mechanics are. So let us jump into a 4v4 Dominion, and we will select the bots, because currently my my ping is not really all that good, but I don't want a very hectic gaming experience right now, because I want to take some time to explain the different mechanics and all of that for you guys. And if I am going up against other players, then the game will be more difficult, and that will leave me less time to explain to you guys what I want to explain to you. So basically, once you have selected your hero, once again you can select from one of those 9 heroes. Once you have selected your hero, you then select your abilities. Once you have selected your abilities, you just click ready, and you are then entered into a battle against your opponents. Now normally here would be 4 opponents, 4 real opponents, but for now there are only 3 real opponents on my side. So it is basically 4 human players against 4 bots currently. But if I had selected the player versus player game mode, then it would be 4 humans against 4 humans. Okay, so we are in the game. For some reason I spawned dead. I probably entered the game which is already in progress. So this is the game. As you can see, the graphics are really quite nice, and as I said, this is only on high. Maybe once the game is fully released they will implement a kind of a graphics option which is higher than high perhaps, but as you can see it looks really quite good. And honestly, YouTube does not do it justice. Even if you are watching the video on 720p or 1080p or whatever, it still really does not do it justice. The game really looks pretty damn good. So these guys that are running right here are the NPCs. In the Dominion mode there are a whole bunch of NPCs which rush to the middle, right there to the middle, and they basically just battle against the opponent's NPCs. And it is your job as the hero, as one of the 4 heroes, to then basically fight and help your NPCs to win the middle, and the team that kills the most in the middle gains the most points, obviously. And in addition to that, you can gain points by also, there I just killed the dude, you can also gain points by controlling certain points. Now let's see, oh here's one of the points. So this is point C, and you basically just have to stand in this point in order to regain health, but it has to be controlled by your team. It cannot be controlled by the opponent, otherwise you will not gain health. And there are 3 different points on the map. Oh, there's actually an enemy here. Holy shit, dodge, dodge. Fucking hell, this guy is owning me. So even though it is a bot, the bots are actually really quite powerful, to be honest. And you can see I was slain by one of the bots. So you basically, on this Dominion mode, you can see there to the top left is one zone, there to the right is another zone, and then in the middle is the other zone. Let me just respawn. So basically in the Dominion mode you just have to control as many points as you can, and for each point that you control you get more points, and the team who reaches I think 1000 gains a buff, and they can then kill their opponents, kill the enemies permanently. And once all 4 of the enemies, the enemy heroes are killed permanently, you then win the match basically. Let me just resurrect this guy. You can run to your friends and then you just press E and you can then resurrect them. There we go, I resurrected 2 of them, and our place at the back has been retaken. So let's just see if we can retake it again. I don't know this map yet. Okay, they captured it already. Some of the maps are really quite big, to be honest. And what happens here? Do I jump over? What does this do? Oh, okay, that closes a gate. So basically that just stops the heroes from moving through that side. They then have to move through the middle, which is obviously a little bit more treacherous. Let's just kill these guys quickly. Oh, just dodge, dodge. So I will explain a little bit to you. Oh shit, dodge, dodge, fucker, holy shit. I will explain to you a little bit about the combat system. The combat in this game is really quite unique. I've never played a game with a combat system like this, to be honest. You basically have a thing that allows you to defend on 3 points. You can defend to the top or to any of the sides. So you can see here. Oh, dodge, dodge. Okay, yeah, fuck you. Dodge, 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 dodge. Dodge. Fuck. Health is a little bit low. Okay, we killed them, so it's fine. Come on, 2, 2, 2. Let me just throw some arrows down there. So there I just used a ability by pressing number 2, and then you select where you want your ability to go. So basically, when fighting against a hero, you press control in order to... Okay, you see now it's sudden death. Now we just have to kill all four of their heroes and then we win the match. So basically, when you fight against a hero, you press control. And you then have 3 defense square type things. The one at the top, one at the bottom left, and one at the bottom right. Now, you have to try to select that square, as you can see there, on a point which is opposite to your opponent. So, as you can see, he's the point defending bottom left, so you need to strike him on a different square. You need to try and strike him on a square which he is not defending. And if you manage to strike him on a square which he is not defending, then you deal damage to him. That's basically how the system works, how the fighting system works. It sounds basic, but it is actually really quite difficult, since your opponent has, especially if he has a shield, your opponent has a lot of defense, and you sometimes have to strike him 2 times or 3 times before he actually takes damage. And if your opponent is good at defending, then it's going to be a bad time for you. Fuck, run, for fuck's sake. And as you can see, you just take like 4 hits, then you die. So you die really quite easily in this game. Just 4 or 5 hits, then you're dead. So it just takes you messing up your defense 3 or 4 times, and then you're a goner. But luckily, you can just respawn after like 3 or after like 10 seconds or something. So the penalty for death isn't that bad. Okay, so let's take on this guy. As you can see, he's defending bottom right, so I need to try to attack at a place that he is not defending. Okay, back off, back off. Okay, and we managed to kill him. Okay, dodge, dodge. So you basically select a square, or you select a part where your opponent is not defending, and then you attack in that square. It sounds easy, but it's really not that easy. And we won. Okay, so that was a match. You basically got to saw just how the game works. You control the different points, and in between you just basically try to kill your opponents in order to gain more points, and the guys who reach 1000 points first the opponents will then enter a sudden death mode, where they basically, if all 4 of them are killed, they will then lose the game. And at the end of the match, depending on whether you won or you lost, you then get experience, and you also get loot. But I don't think I got any loot. No, I don't think I got any loot, but I did get rewards and I leveled up. So I got a different passive. You can see here what the passive does. And I also got a different paint pattern. So that's basically how the game's reward system at the end works. And we can just go on to the next. Oh, here's the deploy war asset thing that I said. So basically you can see 52%, 50%, 50%. So you just select a zone that you want to deploy your war assets in, and then you can do that after each match. And then after the turn is over, meaning after the 6 hours at the top right is over, it is then determined which team has the most of those war assets in a particular zone, and the one that has the most in that zone gains control of the zone. So it's really quite easy in that aspect. You then, as far as I know, gain more benefits at the end of the war, and I think the war lasts something like 2 weeks or something, because currently at the moment it says 11 days at the top right. So I'm only assuming that it lasts 2 weeks, the war, and then at the end of the war a new war starts, and the team who controls the most of the map will then gain lots of benefits. So that's pretty much how the warring system and the zone control system works on the map. So I will stay quiet for a little bit, just so that you guys can hear all of the sound effects and you can see a little bit of the gameplay and all of that.
You lost Zone A. You captured Zone C. Capture Zone A. You lost Zone C. You lost Zone A.
They're losing! Let them fly!
You captured Zone C. You lost Zone C. You captured Zone A.
Holy shit, we actually killed each other. I'm not too certain how that works. That's clearly a glitch or something like that, because I mean, you're definitely not supposed to be able to kill each other with fucking melee weapons. But anyway, like I said, this is a closed beta currently, so there are clearly going to be some issues that still needs to be worked out. Holy shit, there's two guys here. I won't be able to take on two guys at once. Unless I get really lucky with side swiping them and shit like that. But one of them really doesn't pose much danger, to be honest. And as you can see, he's running away.
You captured Zone A.
Fire!
You lost Zone C.
Fight with us!
And as you can see, you can do a execution also, even though you don't gain much from it. I think you gain a little bit of reputation, but not much, to be honest. You gain much more reputation from winning a match, for instance. And you also do get different attacks, like you get a normal attack, just like a normal left click attack, which is basically just a stabbing attack, and then you get a attack where you left click and then right click, which is a area attack, like this one. You can see it's like left click and then right click, and then you do like a sweeping attack type thing. And you also can double right click, then you do like a large swipe like that. And you can also do a series of left clicks, then it is basically like quick attacks, basically. So you do get different attacks and shit that you can do, but it's not a huge variety, basically. So let's see, is there anyone here? Yes, there is, unfortunately. Let's see if I can kill her. Oh, run away, run away. I just want to heal a little bit. And let's heal, and let's run away. Come on, run, for fuck's sake. Bitch, I'm gonna take you down. Nice. Let's just take this place over. Holy shit, my team is actually getting destroyed. So let's just take this place, and
You captured Zone A.
I think we should still be able to win. I just need to resurrect my friends. Out of the fucking way. Holy shit, I'm taking a lot of damage. For fuck's sake! Just when I was running away, one of the enemy heroes came and hit me in the back. So this is a good time to show you the spectating mechanic. Basically, when you are spectating, you can spectate on your team, or you can also actually, let me see, tactical view, here we go. You can spectate from the air like this, so you can then see all of the different NPCs fighting in the middle and all of that. So yeah, that's what happens when you lose, but my entire team was bots, and as you can see, they sucked balls. They were like 1 for 4, and the other guy was 1 for 3, and I'm the only guy in my team who actually had some kills. I was 6 for 7, I think, at the end. And there you can see I got an item. So you get items when you lose, and sometimes also when you win. And of course you do get a little bit less XP, but you actually also get quests in the game. Let me see if I can show you guys the quest. And then after you've lost the match, you can still deploy your guys. You can see there I'm going to deploy 1,269 guys to that zone. So you then just press F1 and they then start to attack there. But obviously one guy like just me doesn't make a huge difference there. It actually takes a bunch of players to concentrate on a single zone to get any big difference, or to make any big difference in that zone. So we then just exit, and you can also actually have quests. You also have quests. So for instance, this one quest says perform 5 executions in Dominion matches, and then you gain steel and XP from it. You can see there at the bottom right the XP, and then 300 steel. The steel is what you use to purchase those packs, those like the pack that I bought at the beginning. And here you also get 300 XP, 300 steel, and this one eliminate 400 soldiers in Dominion matches, and you get 1,500 XP for that and 100 steel. And here are your completed quests. So once a quest is completed, you then click on it and you can select a different quest, anyone that you like. So for instance, this one, complete 8 brawl matches with a friend at your side. So then you have to have a friend on your Uplay account. It's only friends that are on your Uplay. So you can then just select another quest here. Come on. Oh, you have to press like 2, I think. Then it takes that quest. Oh, it doesn't want to take that quest for some reason, because you press 1 to have a quest, and 2 to have a quest, and 3 to have your third quest. But I'm pressing it, but nothing is happening currently. So I don't know why that is, but it's of no consequence. We are going to end the video here in anyway. I think I've shown you guys pretty much exactly what I wanted to show you. The 1v1 duel and the 2v2 brawl is exactly like the Dominion mode, except there's no NPCs. So you just get put into an arena like those that we were in, and you then just have to kill your opponents. You just have to kill the enemies, that's all. So you just basically engage with them in hand-to-hand combat, and you just basically have to dodge better than what they dodge, and you have to guard better than what they guard. And like I said, you get three little things, three little boxes, and if your opponent is defending at the top one, you then have to move yours to the side, and you have then to click left click or right click or whatever. But if your opponent is attacking you and you see he's attacking at the bottom right, then you can choose to defend, and then you do that by moving your mouse to the bottom right, and that will change the box to the bottom right box, and you will then defend his attack. But that of course drains stamina. So defending drains stamina, and attacking drains stamina. So what I choose to do is I just choose to go full out attack. I don't care about where my opponent is going to defend. I just select a block which he isn't selecting, and then I just attack him there. And when he chooses to attack, you just dodge. You just press space and you dodge. So I never really care about defending the hits which are coming my way. I just care about attacking my opponent where he isn't defending. So it's really quite a unique fighting mechanic. I really haven't ever seen a game that works with this fighting mechanic, where you have to move your mouse to defend where your opponent is attacking, and you have to move your mouse to attack where your opponent is not defending. So it's really quite weird. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit non-intuitive. It's like simply because there have, in my opinion, has never been another game that uses this mechanic. It's a little bit difficult to learn at first. I mean, it's not so difficult, but it's a little bit irritating to have to look at where your opponent is stood, and then look at his reticle thing where he is defending, and then you have to defend where he is attacking, or you have to attack where he is defending. It's just a little bit too technical for my I don't like it very much, but perhaps you guys would like it, but I don't like it very much. The fighting mechanic in this game is really not to my liking, but I can certainly see that people who like a more technical and strategic fighting game will certainly like it. But yeah, like I said, it's not bad, but I don't like it very much. It's just not my cup of tea, to be honest. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I showed you just about everything that I wanted to show you. Like I said, the game is currently only PvP, so currently you can do only these kinds of PvP against other opponents. So it might change, but I haven't really seen anything about the single player, that they are going to implement a single player or anything like that. But that might happen. As I said, it's still in beta, so they might definitely still add some other things to the game before it is released on the 14th of February. But yeah, when it is released, it will cost $60 for the base game. You can also get a collector's edition and a golden edition or something like that, which I'm only assuming gives you certain in-game items and maybe a little bit of gold or something like that. But obviously those will cost more, like $80 or $100 perhaps. So yeah, usually some games have their collector's editions hovering around $100. So I think this game will probably be the same. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. It's a third-person PvP brawler type thing, you could say. I don't really like it. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just not my cup of tea, to be honest. I would much rather play something like League of Legends or Dota or something like that if I want to do a strictly PvP game, because the reason why I don't really want to play this game is, like I said, it's really a little bit difficult almost, I would say, to constantly have to check your opponent where he is defending and where you have to attack, and then you have to remember that you can do certain combos. There's a whole bunch of combos here. I actually can show you guys that. Let's see here. Customize heroes. Selected this one. Where is it again? Is it hero overview? No. Progression? No. I remember it was around here somewhere, but I can't remember exactly. That's another thing. The menu is really not all that intuitive, to be honest. It's a little bit difficult to find your way around the menu, because now I'm just looking for the place where it shows all of your abilities, and I'm not seeing it. Is it how to play? How to play? No. Practice? No. I wonder. I remember there was a screen around here somewhere where you were able to see the different attacks which you can do, which each hero can do. But honestly, I'm not seeing it now. Moveset. Ah, here we go. Okay, so finally we fucking found it. So each hero has a different moveset. So like I said, left click is a flurry of attacks, and left click, right click is a AoE attack, which is like a swooping type attack. And then there's a whole bunch of other different ones. You can press A and left click, or W and left click, or anything like that. You can press middle mouse button, left click, and then that's like a mix up of a strike. And you can press S and left click, then you step backwards and attack. There's like at least 15, I would say, different attacks that you can do, and each hero has different attacks. So in addition to the thing where you basically have to look where your opponent is attacking and where he is defending and where you have to attack and you have to defend, there is also all of these different attacks which you have to keep in mind. So it is very much a technical PvP experience. It's not just straightforward attacking and mashing left click or mashing right click. It's really quite technical. But as you saw, even I said I don't like it very much, but as you saw in most of those battles, I was able to kill my opponent without much effort. So but sometimes they are really quite fucking powerful. You get some people who are really already quite good at this game. But like I said, those guys will really enjoy this kind of a technical game. It's very much a technical PvP fight, and you constantly have to check your opponent and where is he attacking and where is it defending, and keep in mind all of the different attacks which you can do and all of that shit. So yeah, like I said, I don't really like it. It's not a bad game, and I would actually recommend that you play the game if you are looking for a technical PvP game, and if it looks appealing to you. But if you're looking for a much less technical PvP game where you're just PvPing against your opponents constantly, then obviously something like Dota or League of Legends will be much more up your alley, or even something like Call of Duty or Battlefield. Those are also PvP games for the most part, and those are certainly much less technical than this. This is a very technical game, to be honest, since if you do not grasp all of the defensive and offensive abilities that you can do, and all of the defending and attacking that you have to do with the reticle system thing where you have to defend at 3 places, then you are going to have a bad time, because your opponent is probably going to be much better at it than you. And if your opponent is much better in this game than you, then you won't even be able to land a single hit on him, since he will just be able to defend at each of the points where you are trying to attack, and then he will counter-strike, because counter-striking is a thing in this game. When you block an attack, you get an advantage because your next attack will attack faster than your opponent can. So, yeah, there are definitely going to be some guys who will be very, very good in this game, and they will pretty much be unbeatable in 1v1 PvP. So yeah guys, that's pretty much everything that there is to see about this game. As I said, it's releasing the 14th of February. You can get it from the Ubisoft store, I think, or if you have Uplay installed, which is the Ubisoft launcher, then you should be able to purchase it already. But as I said, I would not recommend pre-purchasing it, since it's always wise to first see and read any issues that the people have after release, because before release, like in betas and all of that, there may be a lot of hidden features that are buggy or that doesn't work correctly, that are not included in the beta. So yeah, first rather wait until the 14th and then read a few reviews and see what the general consensus is about the game. But as I said, I'm probably not going to play this game. I'm probably not going to buy this game when it comes out. I just basically wanted to show you guys exactly what this game is about before it comes out. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Ah, Hero, we were just talking about you.
This burden falls to you. Join me. We don't have much time.
Thank you. It's the least you can do to support this.